Hey everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're all doing well out there. By the time you're watching this, one more day and it will be the weekend. Looking forward to the weekend here. We're going to get our last little bit of winter weather, I believe. We might get a little bit more, but this is probably our last little actual cold spell. It's going to be in the 40s for about, I don't know, about 4 nights in a row, maybe 5. So going to enjoy that. Because let me tell you something, for everybody out there that's like, oh, I can't wait for summer, come on down to South Alabama. That might cure you. We have some nasty, nasty hot summers down here. It is hot and crazy humid all summer, and our summer lasts till about the second week of October. So anyhow, today I want to talk about how 100% raw vegan obsession is unhealthy. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that big red subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. You know, I could be wrong. I won't say it definitively, but in my opinion, mostly obsession is almost always a bad thing. I won't say always. I hate never and always. I'll almost say always, but I would say obsession is just not a good thing. And you know, everybody that's done this thing for more than about 15 minutes has witnessed some of that raw vegan obsession out there. That obsession with being 100% raw vegan. At some point, it almost becomes like some sort of an illness, cult, mental disorder, whatever you want to call it. I would say, let's say, there's a lot of symptoms of obsession over this lifestyle. One of them starts with the whole 100% raw thing. If someone knows exactly how many days they've been raw after about a year anyway, you know, that's 365 days. If they know their exact days, like going into 2 and 3 years, that's a little obsessive to me. And like I say, anything I'm saying in this video today is just the opinion of the crazy old man you see here. And I know what somebody will slide in and say, there'll be some non-vegan or non-raw. Well, it's stupid, all of it. Well, you just commented on a raw vegan video. So I just had to throw that one in because there's always that smart aleck person that just jumps in and says the whole diet's stupid. Well, no, the diet's not stupid. I'm not calling anybody stupid, even if you do obsess over it. But I would say don't do that. Don't do that. That's not mental wellness, to be constantly, you know, nothing but raw vegan. I just see so many people that's their only pillar of health. That's the only thing they cling to. If you kind of try to track them on anything else, well, you know, do you do any exercise? Do you do any kind of movement? They're not really doing anything. Do you have any sort of a wellness practice as far as meditation, going inward, breath work, whatever? No. And a lot of times too, they're the same people that, you know, are part of the rat race. They're out there doing this and doing that, and they're just spinning out of control a lot of the times. And who knows? And I'm not judging, because maybe that somehow kind of keeps them a little bit sane, or they think it keeps them a little bit sane in their crazy world. But obsession's just not good. Obsession's not good, and I'm just going to warn any of you people that are new when you're coming to this lifestyle or seeing it for the first time or starting to eat like this, to avoid these people, groups, channels, brands, whatever, that are just obsessive about nothing other than raw all the time. You know, I go back and forth on this channel, and I was talking about this with my friend who I was speaking of in the video yesterday. And I was giving her a little bit of some suggestions on for her upcoming channel and things she wants to talk about. And I was thinking, when I was talking with her, there's a lot of the different things I want to talk about, I enjoy talking about. You know, I do have somewhat of a certain audience that a lot of people are, you know, because of the keywords and the titles I use, here to talk about food. But there's so many other things that I do that probably keep me a lot more sane than just what I'm eating. Just my demeanor every day, the way I live my life. And a lot of that came from the food. Following this lifestyle for the past almost 7 years, I kind of say, like, cleared away the fog, and, you know, kind of like let me see things that I see around. Like I'm looking right now and the azaleas are blooming everywhere. These are things that I notice now. These are things that bring just as much value, if not more value, to my life than sitting around all day obsessing and talking with people, little geeky people in groups talking about, oh, well, I don't know, so-and-so says we shouldn't eat garlic and onions. So-and-so says it's okay. You know, people actually have freaking conversations out there, serious conversations where they get angry with each other over garlic and onions. And here I am over here just kind of goofy old Winnie the Pooh like looking at flowers and oh, there's a bumblebee over there. But little things like that bring so much more to my life than sitting around obsessing over food all the time. Taking a walk. I haven't been getting out into nature as much the last few weeks because we are in a heavy pollen period right now. I'm trying to kind of let the pollen go, but just being out in nature does so much for me. And I think, and I watch other people's lives, especially since I've come back here to the States where I'm more aware and watch, even though I don't have people in my day-to-day life and I'm just seeing them online like I did in Costa Rica, I'm more aware of these people that are just like, they eat like I do, but they're living in this rat race. And I'm like, yeah. I'm not even sure I'd want to eat like this. I'm not sure I'd want to live that much longer if I was running around in the rat race all the time. This whole thing just profound, you know, like I say, when I made my changes, I changed my whole life. It changed my outlook, the way I looked at things, the way I processed everything. And I kind of just knew from day one that I didn't want to obsess over this food, you know, all the time. But you know, not throwing the food under the bus. I mean, it definitely was the catalyst. It was a catalyst that brought me to where I am, that kind of brought me to the understanding and the demeanor that I have today, because I was a much different person before. You know, I clown around, I act goofy and whatever, but I was a little bit of surly before. I always kind of had a little bit of an edge, especially when you drink and you're hungover all the time. I was a little bit kind of like, I had a look on my face like, don't fuck with me. You know, I'm not like trying to be a tough guy. It would just be like, you just stay away from me. Don't mess with me, whatever. I was snarky a lot. I had a bad attitude. Didn't feel good most of the time. And yes, changing my lifestyle, changing from the standard American diet to a very high raw vegan lifestyle and I should say also too, when I say raw vegan, I was living in the tropics, so I'm eating fruit, I'm eating good stuff all the time. No, I'm not getting organic. You know, I get the organic snobs out there sometime too, and they're another whole effing level of this thing. Hey, do not listen. And sometimes you have to spell things out for people. If you don't spell things out exactly, they can't fill in the blanks. I'm not saying organic is not a good thing. Organic, if I could eat organic all the time, of course I would choose to do that. But in lieu of being able to do that, what do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm going to just pop down and start, okay, well, I can't get organic, so I might as well eat at the drive-thru. But I was living in Costa Rica. I was getting lots of, you know, I basically didn't have to put any effort into it, so I jumped into this thing hard. You know, it was a lot of fresh fruit right from the beginning. A lot of just fruit, smoothies, juices. I still ate some cooked, but you know, got a lot of good stuff in my body. Cleared my head out enough to know that I wasn't going to obsess over a certain way of eating, because I was like that before. I still can be obsessive, and I have to catch myself sometimes now when I'm just a little too, you know, I get a little too serious about something. But also too, it comes from just my personality type in general. I can't be thinking about food all the time, you know, just the brain just never going about food, because even when I ate the standard American diet, I remember certain little things I said to people, and I could get annoyed with people when it was always about food. Like I had things like, if we went on a trip, if we were driving somewhere, I couldn't stand going on trips with people that had to pull over to eat. Like, we ate when we stopped, we ate when it was convenient, but if you had to constantly be stopping, or if you had to plan your days around eating, or if you were already thinking at breakfast what you were going to eat at dinner, I wasn't like that. For many, many times throughout my life, I've gone on autopilot and just eaten, you know, like, similar to what I do now. So when people think I'm like, okay, he's very narrow on this raw vegan thing. I was like that when I ate however I ate. I would get on these kicks where I would just eat, you know, I didn't want to think about food. So I would eat the same thing, you know, 4 or 5 days in a row, or maybe over the course of a month, I only ate like 5 or 6 different things. So just don't get caught up. In fact, we should just do away with this whole 100% raw or fully raw or whatever concept. Do it. Let's just don't talk about it all that much. Let's just don't make it a label, because that's flawed thinking to me. And you're watching me. Like a lot of times, yes, this is all just my opinion. What do you think it is? There's nothing else but opinion on YouTube. There's not a whole lot of, well, there are some videos that have verifiable facts behind them, but most everything you're watching to do with it is opinion. And sorry, I'm not that high on myself. I wouldn't say my opinion's any more valuable than anybody else, but, and I'll finish with this. I might be goofy, but I always seem to be happy. I don't let things trouble me. I was talking to my friend yesterday, and we were talking about some different wellness things, and we were talking about stress, and somehow it came to that, and I told her my philosophy. I just don't do stress. I don't allow stress. I just cut it off as soon as I start even feeling it trickle in. I just cut it off. So don't obsess over the food. It doesn't need to be obsessed over. Just do the best you can. Get the freshest produce you can, the best you can. Get organic if you can. Eat as high raw as you can or as you want to, but don't get into your head about it. Anyhow, just kind of a rambling video today. Hope it wasn't too rambling. And hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.